Hey, I'm Jocelyn, and today I am in Nebraska, and this is the first trip I've gotten to make in a long time. Thank you, COVID-19. But you know what? An integral part of travel is always local foods. And as I'm here in Nebraska, you're thinking, Nebraska, corn, and maybe some steak, right? Well, surprisingly, Nebraska's got some really interesting things. Like, did you know that Kool-Aid was invented here in Nebraska? I mean, thank you. The whole United States and many other countries are thanking you for your Kool-Aid and your contribution to sugary yumminess. So yes, there's a lot of corn, and they have a lot of great corn-based products and things like that, and steaks are delectable here. There is a reason that Omaha steaks are famous around the world. Great steak comes from Nebraska, so when you're here, you should definitely get some steak. But on that note, pork tenderloins, bigger than the plate, are kind of a thing here too. You know, you get this piece of meat that's breaded and it's about that big, and then there's this tiny little hamburger bun on it. But they're really great, and it's something you should absolutely try when you're here in Nebraska. So another wonderful thing that was invented here in Nebraska is the Reuben Sandwich, all that corned beef on rye and sauerkraut and Russian dressing and Swiss cheese, and I love Reubens. I always thought they were from New York, but nope, they're right here, native to Nebraska, and man, I love to eat them, and they're kind of better here. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the fresh air. Another Nebraska beverage is red beer, and that is basically just beer and tomato juice, or beer and V8. I've heard it called bloody beer, kind of like a Bloody Mary, sub the vodka for some beer, and it's actually pretty good, and it's great for a hangover, or so I've been told. And in Nebraska, they've done something kind of crazy with cinnamon rolls. They paired them with chili. I don't know, I don't get it, but at the same time, I kind of do, because that sweet and that savory and that spicy and that salt and all that sugar and cinnamon together, I can kind of see how it works. Apparently this was a big thing. They used to serve it in schools and things. Maybe they still do. I don't know. I think the idea of chili and cinnamon rolls, though, is definitely interesting, if not at the top of my to-do list. So speaking of kids and kid-friendly foods, they've done something kind of interesting too with their pizza, and they've made a cheeseburger pizza. And as you can expect, it's kind of all the things you'd put on a cheeseburger, but on a pizza dough. It's just a pizza with cheeseburger stuff on it. Really good, really fun. My kids think it's kind of the best marriage of two great foods. So two things that just kind of happen all the time here are sweet corn and rhubarb. You'll find them in all different forms in many different places, but I think you'll enjoy all their different iterations that you'll find throughout the state. Another thing that is very big in the state of Nebraska is Runza's. It's a fast food place, and they kind of have these calzones, but instead of the traditional calzone type things, it's kind of like a loose meat sandwich inside. I like them with the cheese on them, so it's kind of like a loose meat cheeseburger inside this. It's baked into this really wonderful bread. It's kind of hard to describe, but they're really good, and they're kind of easy to eat when you're on the road because it's all sort of self-contained, so it's not like spilling out all over the place. So definitely check out Runza when you're in Nebraska. No Nebraska food video would be complete if we didn't mention Dorothy Lynch Dressing. Dorothy Lynch Dressing is kind of loosely like French dressing or maybe Russian dressing, but it's not. And I'm actually going to do a video on how to properly make it. A friend of mine is from Nebraska, and so I've gotten like a really good home recipe, so I'm going to go ahead and make that for you in a different video. But just know that it's not just dressing for salads. It can go on noodles. It can be used for dipping your fries. It's kind of like an all-purpose sauce. So go ahead and get you some Dorothy Lynch dressing when you're here in Nebraska. Anyway, those are my top things for food in Nebraska. Totally regional, totally cool. It's got some really interesting different things like, chili and cinnamon rolls together. But I think that you'll really enjoy eating while you're here in Nebraska. See you later.